Yesterday, Donald Trump ordered Scott Bessent, the Secretary of Treasury, to cut off all trade with Spain. Bessent said, "Yes, sir." Trump also said that this was because the Spaniards had stolen his strawberries. Okay, I made up that second part, but he did in fact order Bessent to cut off all trade. This is not going to happen. Presidents have a lot of discretionary authority on tariffs and trade, more than they should, but you do not have the right as president to impose tariffs on a country just because you don't like their defense spending or you think that they haven't been nice enough to you. So this would not fly, even in the Trump administration, even with a supine Congress and a permissive Supreme Court. This is not going to happen. Also, Spain is part of the European Union, and you just cannot. It's like Europe declaring we're cutting off all trade with Florida. They can't do that. And it's a lot of U.S. business with Spain. In fact, Spain is one of those countries with which we run a trade surplus. So U.S. business would be howling. So this is all a non-event. This is not something that is real, except that the President of the United States did say this. It was completely crazy. And that's the story that we should be taking from this. It's not really, at this point, about economics. It doesn't even make sense to talk about Trump administration policies, let alone ideology. What we have is President Sundowner. I mean, this is completely insane stuff. In any kind of normally functioning political system, in any kind of normally functioning party environment, we would have a massive bipartisan call across the aisle, across almost everybody except for a handful of members of Congress who are themselves crazy, to say, okay, this guy is non compos mentis. We cannot leave the fate of the United States or the world in the hands of somebody who is completely irrational, who is making demands and believing himself to have powers that he does not. And of course, instead, not only does everybody pretend that he's still a rational human being, but the Republican Party, the Trump administration, is full on engaged in trying to build a personality cult. What this says to me is that the problem is a lot bigger than Trump. Something is fundamentally wrong with America. And at this point, you don't have to go through complicated justifications. You can just say something is wrong with a country and a system that lets this guy remain in a position of power. Have a good day.